they happened to have a coffee bar in the lobby of the Four Seasons in Vegas. And so one afternoon, I went and bought myself a cup of coffee, and the barista working that day was a kid named Noah. Noah was funny and charming and engaging, and I spent far too long buying a cup of coffee because I just so enjoyed talking to Noah. So as is my nature, I asked Noah, do you like your job? And without skipping a beat, Noah said, I love my job. Now, in my line of work, that's significant. Like is rational. I like the people, I like the work, you know, I get paid well, I like my job. Love is emotional. It's a higher order connection, right? Like, do you love your wife? I like her a lot, right? Clearly, it's clearly a different standard, right? Yeah. So when Noah said, I love my job, my ears perked up. This kid has an emotional connection to his work. So immediately I followed up and said, tell me specifically what the Four Seasons is doing that you would say to me you love your job. And again, without skipping a beat, Noah said, throughout the day, managers will walk past me and ask me how I'm doing, ask me if there's anything that I need to do my job better, not just my manager, any manager. And then he said, I also work at another hotel. And there the managers walk past us and catch us when we do something wrong. There the managers are always trying to drive performance and make sure we hit our numbers. He said, there I'd like to keep my head below the radar, get through the day and just collect my paycheck. Only at the Four Seasons do I feel I can be myself. Now, this is the exact same human being working at two different companies, and yet our experience of him will be profoundly different, not because of him, but because of the leadership environment in which he works. You know, I get this question all the time. You know, Simon, how do we get the most out of our people? People are not a towel that you wring them out to see how much you can get out of them. You know, it's a flawed question. The question is, how do we create an environment in which our people can work at their natural best? And that is the art of leadership. It's creating an environment in which relationships can thrive, in which trust can thrive. And we all know what it feels like to be on a trusting team, right? It means that we feel psychologically safe enough to raise our hand and say, I made a mistake, or I need help, or I'm having trouble at home and it's affecting my work, or I'm scared, or I don't know what to do, without any fear of humiliation or retribution, but rather to say these things with the absolute confidence that someone on our team will rush to support us. Unfortunately, we also all know what it feels like not to work on a trusting team, where admitting any of those things could hurt your chances of promotion, could hurt your chances of, you could be humiliated. And so when we work on teams where leadership is creating an environment where trust is at a premium, we force our people to come to work and lie, hide, and fake, where they're pretending that they've made no mistakes. They're lying, hiding, and faking, and eventually things will crack and things will eventually break. And when you talk about reinvention and you talk about innovation and you talk about challenging the status quo or whatever it is, necessarily there's risk, and necessarily there are mistakes, and necessarily there's stupid ideas. And you have to create an environment in which that's good. The alternative is everybody playing it safe, which is not the way that leads to vast or significant improvement. Empathy in the workplace, I'll show you what it looks like. And by the way, please stop saying soft skills. We talk about hard skills and soft. There's nothing soft about them, number one. And number two, hard and soft are opposites. And I would hate to think that hard skills and soft skills are working against each other. Mm-hmm. It's hard skills and human skills. And for somebody to truly perform, I'm going to teach you hard skills, which are the skills you need to do your job, and I'm going to teach you human skills, which are the skills you need to be a better human. And if you can master both of those, you will thrive at this organization. And I think that we need to double down on those human skills. So what does empathy look like in the workplace? Again, nothing soft about it, incredibly human. So the old system, prior, a non-empathetic scenario, fairly normal. You walk into someone's office and say, your numbers are down for the third quarter in a row. We've had this conversation before. If you don't pick up your numbers in the fourth quarter, I don't know what's going to happen. Right? That's a fairly normal scenario. Here's what empathy looks like. Your numbers are down for the third quarter in a row. We've talked about this before. Are you okay? What's going on? I'm worried about you, right? And the injection of humanity in a human enterprise pays dividends. And this is the thing that's, I think, so fascinating about leadership in general, is we actually don't know the things that we say or do that actually have an impact, positive or negative, I might add. And there are moments of truth. Like every single one of us has had an experience that we've done to someone or someone's done to us that we thought that was so innocuous we didn't even realize it. For example, somebody did that. Somebody asked me how I was doing. They thought nothing of it, went about their day, and 10 years later, we still carry that gratitude to that person and that loyalty. And I think we forget, just how important showing up and in our messy, imperfect human way, trying to be a version of our best selves amongst each other every single day. And by the way, all the talents and skills you teach at work about good leadership, the act of listening, the how to have difficult conversations, all these things, every single one of those will translate back home. You'll see marriages, the quality of marriages improve. You'll see the quality of relationships between parents and their children improve because of the skills that the office is teaching them how to better, interact with clients and colleagues. It's how to interact with human beings. And so all of the companies that I know that teach these skills, the number one feedback they get is my marriage is better and my relationship with my kids is better.